With the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Pwede na po tayo. Please be seated. So, magandang hapon po sa lahat. Una po sa lahat, maraming salamat po na nandito po kayo sa ating invitation for the committee hearing today, and especially with certain draft ordinances brought to the attention of the Senate Committee. Before anything, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our sama-samahan po natin sa Judge Council, kasama sa Committee on Business, Consider J.P. Dizon, Consider Uno Lim, representatives from the Office of Consider Dr. J. Bernard and Consider Philip Mahuna. I'd like to acknowledge also our guests, representatives from the City Treasurer's Office, Attorney Luis Del Mundo, Honorable Lenny Macudo from the Bureau of Permits, a representative from the Department of Public Works, Honorable Nicole Amorao. Magandang hapon po. Secretary ko din po si Engineer Rani Sada from the City Electrician Office, Engineer Jose Juan from the City Assessor's Office, at lahat-lahat po na nandito ngayong hapon. So, agenda po natin is first, let's go to the order of business.
Program Ordinance Number 8710 entitled An Ordinance Amending Article J, Section 135 of Ordinance Number 8331, otherwise known as the 2013 Omnibus Revenue Code of the City of Manila, and for the other purposes, offered by Councilor Romero Uno GP.
So, our first draft ordinance is number 8710. An ordinance amending Article J, Section 132 of Ordinance Number 8331, otherwise known as the 2013 Omnibus Revenue Code of the City of Manila, and for other purposes, under the concept Uno Lim. This ordinance po, sige po, I'd like to acknowledge Principal Author, Councilor Uno Lim po.
I'd just like to give my sponsorship speech for this draft Ordinance 8710. Good morning po sa lahat ng nandito ngayon. So I'm pleased to present draft Ordinance 8710, which aims to update the 2013 Omnibus Revenue Code of the City of Manila. So this ordinance, authored by myself, focuses on exempting city-sponsored events from special permit fees. So, ang main points po ng ordinance natin, so, number 1, exempting city-sponsored events. So, ito po yung events organized or enforced by the City of Manila won't have to pay special permit fees. So, ito po yung objective ng ordinance po na sinusulong po natin. So this change is designed to make it easier for us to support and promote events that benefit our community without adding extra financial burdens to our partners. So, background po at legal context po ng ordinance. So recently, the City Legal Office addressed a similar issue regarding exemptions from special permit fees for Department of Tourism and Intramuros Administration. So, memorandum from the Office of the City Legal Officer to Mr. Lenny Macudo, Director of the Bureau of Permits, clarified the following. So, yung mga local government units have the constitutional power cited in Article 10, Section 5, and Authority Section 129 of the Local Government Code to create their own sources of revenue, so including the imposition of fees. So LGUs also have the power to grant tax exemptions as stated in Section 192 of the Local Government Code. However, this is at the discretion of our LGU and cannot be forced. So while the Department of Tourism and Intramuros Administration as national government agencies are exempt from certain local taxes, this exemption does not extend to individuals to operate encourage our merchants to participate in events like Philippine Experience. So of course, this underscored the importance of our ordinance in providing clear exemption for city-sponsored events, ensuring that our local government's efforts to engage and benefit the community are not hindered by financial barriers. So examples po ng mga city-sponsored events po natin, yung mga Chinese New Year, yung mga araw ng Manila, and also some of the notable city-sponsored events also in Manila, yung Manila Summer Pride. Ito po yung vibrant celebration promoting diversity and inclusion, featuring parades, performances, and advocacy for LGBTQA rights. Kasama rin po dyan mga special events like Rock and Roll Manila, so a marathon event that combines running with live music and entertainment, showcasing Manila's historical landmarks and cultural heritage. So ito yung mga sample ng mga city-sponsored events po natin. So, nice to insight sa mga benepisyo ng ating ordinansa. So, kapag ito po yung naisulong, ano ba magiging benepisyo sa atin? So, encourages more events. So, by accepting city-sponsored events from these, we are encouraging more activities and gathering that bring our community together. So, this helps foster a sense of unity and engagement among our citizens. So, of course, it also supports cultural and social activities. So Manila is rich in culture and social activities. So these ordinances ensure that city-led events, which often highlight our cultural heritage and promote social interaction, are not hindered by financial constraints. So it also promotes civic engagement. Your honors, when the city sponsors events, it is a chance for us to engage directly with our residents. So by removing the financial barriers, we can organize more frequent and diverse events, from sports activities to cultural festivals, making Manila a more vibrant and active city. So in conclusion, Draft Ordinance number 8710 is a step towards making Manila a more dynamic and inclusive city. So by accepting city-sponsored events from special permit fees, we are not just saving money, we are investing in our community's future. So encouraging participation and enhancing the quality of life for all Manileños. And I urge you all to support this ordinance. Let's work together to foster a more vibrant, engaged, and united Manila. So maraming salamat po sa inyong atensyon. Mabuhay po ang mga Manileño, mabuhay po sa mga Manila. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you for that sort of shared speech and remarks, Councilor Umalim. Councilor Attorney J.P. is recognized.
Maraming salamat po. First and foremost, I would like to express my support to this ordinance. Actually, this is one of the ordinances na pagtitignan nyo, it appears obvious na dapat natin center at city-sponsored events. So, dahil ito sa special permit fee, considering that the city is actively participating in such event, parang labo naman na kung kunyari isa kang partner ng isang event, kasama mo si City of Manila sa isang event, tapos bigla patapos sa event, sisipin ka ng permit, I find it boggling that this should only be addressed. Now, siguro po, if I can suggest po, maybe we should put a definition as to what a city-sponsored event is. Para kapag ina-apply po natin ang exception na to, there could be no room for other interpretation. Talagang gusto po natin i-accept. I-define na po natin. Kasi po mahirap po pag nilagay natin na city-sponsored event lang. And there are a lot of things that might be construed as a city-sponsored event, pero baka hindi pa na siya kasama sa ating pinaka-content. So, I believe na mas maganda po. I-identify natin kung wala magawa pa tayo kahit some paragraph na for the purposes of this exception, a city-sponsored event should be as follows. Para lang po, as malinaw po yung ating exception. But nonetheless po, I reiterate my support for this ordinance. I believe that this is not only timely, this is overdue. Kaya, salamat, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Councilor Attorney J.B. Councilor, are you amenable to the suggestion of Council J.B. with regard to the on-site examples for mas clear yung city-sponsored events under Section 3 law?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm 100% amenable with the suggestion made by my colleague, from the 5th District of the City of Manila. And I just want to cite some important issues as well. So, nag-start po kasi kung ordinansa na to, that there's a big corporation na tinapo ng City of Manila ng Chinese New Year. Then suddenly, in-invite po namin sila, then at the same time, so sila po nagawa sila ng isang group or organization na sige, sali kayo din sa Chinese New Year, gumawa tayo ng mga kiosk, kayo ng mga food kiosk din sa area na yan. Then after po ng duration ng event, parang di pa tapos, so after the event, sige natin ng 500 pesos a day. So, parang kaya kailangan i-identify natin dito na tayo po ang nag-invite tapos after at the end of the event, sisigilin natin ng 500 pesos. As naman stated naman doon sa ating dito sa local revenue code natin na mga display of fireworks and mga booths, motorcades, mga billboards, and any forms of advertisement, 500 pesos a day talaga yung ating pong sisigilin. Kaya lang, nakakala ko, inibitahan lang naman sila. So, binabago nila yung mga presyo nila ng mga booth, mga stalls nila, para siyempre, kahit konting kita lang, okay naman sana. Nagkaroon lang po ng konting hindi pagkakaliwanagan na para pumunta sila doon, hindi naman masyado sila kumita, pero singin pa natin. So, wala naman kasi 500 pesos ngayon. Kaya lang, ang nangyayari, kaya in-invite natin. So, sana na lang, is the government. So, yun lang ako. Sana yung sa masusunod naman ng mga pagtitipon. Naiintindihan ko naman na ito kasi nasa local revenue code natin, the honors. Pero siguro kailangan maliwanagan dito na hindi naman lahat siguro. Meron dito siguro mga exemption dito sa ipapataw natin mga tourists. Yung mga display fireworks, setting up booths, mga kiosks, motorcade, para lang naman din ko maliwanagan yung mga. Like yung mga Chinese New Year, like yung mga araw ng kapilit at katipunan. Yung mga kiosks ba doon, sir, na bayad din po sila. So, pwede yung Your Honor, pwede yung natin mahinga na comment
We'd like to recognize Mr. Lek Pamulo from Bureau of Permits.
Yes po, nagpapalo ko kasi po sa sarili namin event, makaya po sila per booth.
Sir, okay lang po natin ito kasi yung mga
Opo. So to answer po yung question ni Honorable Lee, ang ating pong mga kiosk na kasama sa ating mga events, maski NSFP po, maski sarili po namin events, ay nagbabayad po sila according to sa ordinance. And we have a fine on that. And I totally agree with Councilor JP na dapat po siguro ng Manila o sa Kalinga. However, kung pupunta po tayo doon sabihin na natin ito, pinag-uusapan na rin naman po natin yung Chinese New Year. Unang-una po ay kung meron po tayong na-tap na negosyo na siya pong nanguna para gawin ito. Just to be clear na po, meron pong mga organizers. If it's for us to say that pinaan natin sila, tapos sisingilin pa natin ng 500, medyo masakit. Ang masakit po, 8,000 ang singilin sa bawat isa sa isang araw. Ang organizer will find over 5 million in 21 days. Pero tayo po, 0. So, ang sa akin lang po, sa 30 pong nandoon, 5 lang po ang kagamitin nila. Usually, ganun po ang nangyayari. Maski sa case ng IA, NBDC, kahit saan po, hindi po kami naniningil sa gobyerno. For as long as sila po yung nag-i-initiate, even with the Chinese New Year. Nung malaman po namin na sila po pala yung tinat natin para makatulong sa Chinese New Year, well and good, salamat po sa tulong nyo. Kasi alam naman namin, gumamit din sila ng resources. Maski ito ang huli-huli po natin sa Sama-Saya, timok din po ang merkado. Pero ginamit din natin yung resources nila. So, dahil sa minadali natin sila, makatulong sila sa expertise, hindi po natin sinimilyon dahil sponsor po ang gobyerno. However, yung mga dala po nilang merchants, nagbabayad po kasi sa kanila at kumikita rin po yun. So yung kinita po nila, labas po yun sa mga pwesto nila. At babalik po tayo doon sa Chinese New Year sa 3 puho na may stall doon. 5 lang po ang tagamit nila. Sa 5, isa lang po ang business doon. So, ang sa akin naman po, siguro yung 500 pesos ay kaya-kaya po nila kasi nakapagbayad na po ng 8,000 per day. Pero hindi na po natin sinigil yung mismong organizers. Kasi si organizer, may organizer din, which is yung gumagawa po ng events.
Yun.
Yes, Council Uloy. Yes, sir.
Yun, thank you po dun sa statement po ng ating director ng Bureau of Permits. Ito bang organizer po ay sumulat po sa ating tanggapan na
Nakipag-meeting na po sila sa amin kasi nga po, dala na po natin.
hindi, before po na mangyari po yung event, meron po ba silang sulat na
Wala po, kasi kung sinasabi po ni, I mention po yung sinasabi po ninyo, si LCPN. Nakipag-coordinate po sila sa amin, hindi naman po sila yung aming nahabal. Meron po kasi organizer ng UTV, which is CATS Events.
yun nga po ang nangyayari. So dahil nga po dito, meron tayong gusto i-impose na fees, pero ang kumita pala ba ng organizer na. So nakikita naman po yung point. Kaya lang siguro bago tayo gumawa, kaya ako sinusunod po po ng pinansa na to, katulad na sinabi ni Councilor JB, kailangan i-clarify natin dito ano yung mga city sponsored events. Katulad po niya, may mga nag-organize ito sa kasunod na ito, sige magiging city sponsored events to, pero dapat clear loob na hindi ko sisigilin, hindi nyo ito pagkakakitaan. So yun nga naman nangyari, hindi ko sumulat sa inyo. Tapos after na muna nangyari, i-post natin itong local revenue code natin, may naging iba na yung natin. So kaya nga po inaayos po natin. Your request for 1 minute. Yes, yes, yes.
1 minute recess is declared by the chair. din or liwanagan ko ang bawat isa, mas mainam po if yung, because this draft ordinance offered by Councilor Uloy is basically the amendment by insertion po, by inserting the exception clause po, which states with the exception of those involving city-sponsored events. Mas ina po siguro kung lalagyan natin ang steps before they be considered or named such as city-sponsored events. Lagyan po natin ang restrictions or regulations or guidelines before po sila pumasok as city-sponsored events. If yun po yung mas to safeguard the hindi po ma-abuse yung pagbigay natin na exception na doon na lumalabas sa mga iniipitan doon ng lungsod na Maynila upang mag-participate po sa mga special events such as Chinese New Year, so on and so forth. If okay po sa principal alternate sa example na sinigin po ng ating OIC from the City Bureau of Permits. So yun po. Alevin?
Yes po. So it would be individually filed and approved still by the City Council.
Yun.
Council Puno, Davis Recognized.
I'll just add 3.1 sa amendment po natin. So, Section 3, so amendment po natin yung mga special permit fee. So, ilalagay na lang po ng Section 3.1 yung guidelines for city-sponsored event status. Nalagay ko dito, to qualify as a city-sponsored event and be eligible for the exception, the following guidelines must be met. Official endorsement, so yun yung Section 1.8, 1.1. Section 3.1, so yung 3.1 po, guidelines for city-sponsored event. So, tapos yung 3.1A, yung A po is official endorsement. So, the event must receive formal endorsement from the city government of Manila, indicating official support and sponsorship. So, tapos po yung ilalagay din po, just for the official endorsement as well, yung ilalagay din po, ano ba yung banggit beneficio natin dito. So, yung 3.1A, 3.1B, yung community benefit. So, the event should aim to provide significant cultural, social, or economic benefits to the residents of Manila. Yung Section 1.3.1C, yung pangatlo po yung resource allocation. So, the city government must allocate resources, whether financial, logistical, or personnel, to support the event's planning and execution. Katulad mo ng sinasabi ni Engineers Sata, kung ano po yung i-provide ng city. So, yun po yung sa Section 3.1A, B, and C. Yun po yung ating para doon o clear kung talaga ito ba endorse o ito may mga community benefits at kung ano yung mga ibibigay natin mga resource allocation. Eh, kapag wala po doon sa official endorsement o pagdating sa kuryente, o bayad kayo doon. Di ba? O di ba usapan na yun? Depende sa magiging official endorsement po kung atin mo lusod ng kuryente. Yun lamang yun.
I'd like to ask sino po ang magbibigay ng formal endorsement like you say po sa 3.1A na? Kanino po ko bisa ang maglalagay formal endorsement? Council, David?
May po. Whenever sila endorsement will come from the office of the city mayor or city mayor. This is a city-sponsored event. I believe only the mayor can endorse the city.
So, siguro ba na natin formal endorsement coming from the office of the city mayor para din po sure yung maglalagay ng endorsement.
That was my question. Based on our conversation earlier, and hopefully it will be forced to us, is we're the ones issuing the special permits. Because we do endorsements with different officers who will be involved in such special event, such as traffic
Sige po, we'll take into consideration what you know. I-mention ito.
If I may add lang po, since we're already talking about amending that tayo the last time nandito po tayo, marami po kayong mga proposals tungkol sa mga permits, kasama po kasi yung special permits din. I'm not sure if it has been stopped, vetoed, or whatever, pero wala po sana update. This is the best time since namin yung papaso, maisama na po natin yung proposals natin dati. Total dumaan na po siya sa pagsusuri at mga meetings and endorsements.
Yes, so, we'll review all of that. We'd like to call on our representative from City Treasurer's Office for other groups that will go.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Glad to be back in your committee. Madam Chair, I hate to be the one to be acting like a devil's advocate of this project, but we truly support this measure because it encourages community involvement. However, I noticed that Section 1, speaks of a basis, the legal basis, that the local government can grant tax exemption. That is true. Now, as far as special permits goes, I am afraid the City Council does not have the authority to grant an exception. Because a tax comes from the taxing power of the state or from the city. However, permit fees comes from the police power of the state. And under the local government codes implementing guidelines, Article 282, it states, authority to grant tax exemptions, privilege, or incentive. While somebody else may grant tax exemptions, tax incentive, or tax relief, such grant shall not apply to regulatory fees, which are levied under the police power of the LGU. So, if the intention of the ordinance is to grant an incentive for special permits, which is a regulatory fee, then I believe that the City Council does not have the authority based on the implementing guidelines and the one cited by the ordinance itself. Secondly, Madam Chair, as worded, Section 3 deletes Paragraph C, street dancing, Paragraph E, skate shows, Paragraph E, film shooting, and Paragraph E, F, benefit board. So, if passed, the paragraphs that we mentioned, Your Honor, would be deleted from the ordinance, from the revenue code. And lastly, can we not make an increase in the fees? Because it's still 500 per day. If we're intending to amend the revenue code, and the Treasurer's Office would be happy, and I'm sure the Bureau of Permits would be happy, if we can have an increase in the fees.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Attorney Luis. I'd like to recognize Councilor Uno rin as recognized.
Your Honor, I think parang iba ho ang kaaral natin. Because the City Council, as a body, we have the authority to grant tax exemption. So this authority is derived from specific sections of the local government code of the Philippines, which is the Public Act number 7160. So here are the relevant sections, sir. Section 129, power to create sources of revenue. So each local government unit shall exercise its power to create its own sources of revenue and to levy taxes, fees, and charges, subject to the provision herein, consistent with the basic policy of local autonomy. So such taxes, fees, and charges shall accrue exclusively to the local government unit. So yung section ng ito grants LGUs the power to generate revenue for taxes, fees, and charges. So yung section 192, yung authority to grant tax exemption privileges. So local government units may through ordinances duly approved grant tax exemption, incentives, or reliefs under such terms and conditions as they may deem necessary. So this section Section 129 explicitly states that LGUs, including City Council, have the authority to grant tax exemption, incentives, or relief as needed to the approval of ordinances. So these provisions provide the legal basis for the City Council to grant tax exemptions and are integral to the local autonomy granted to our local government units. So medyo yun po Your Honor,
Yes,
sige,
would like to recognize from the other APs of
Para isa lang po sa lang po. It was asked if we can be enlightened, because I am under the perception that the special permit fee is not actually regulatory, because the matters therein are not concerned with the regulation of a business or a profession. These are the special permit fee is being paid by those who want to do certain activities in the place. So hindi siya regulation ng profession, hindi siya regulation ng business. So I do not think po, at least I'm open to the enlightenment. I do not think that this is a regulatory fee. I think this is a revenue regulation. This is not as opposed to a regulatory fee. But please po.
Thank you, Your Honor. The council is correct with you so far as taxes are concerned. However, since the special permit fee is a permit, the distinction between taxes and permits is well documented, Your Honor. Now, by express provision of the implementing rules of the LGC, Local Government Code, Your Honor, and I cited Article 282, it would appear that the grant of the authority does not apply to a special permit or any regulatory permit. What happens, Your Honor, is that there is an event, there is an amusement event, and the council grants an exception. We simply look at another way. But the reality is that there is a law which prohibits a grant of incentive in so far as permits goes. But there is a representative from the city legal office, Your Honor.
Before we continue, I would like to request the representative of the city office, Attorney Pearl Cabrera, to help us in this very intense dialogue.
excuse me, before we call legal. Of course, I would just like to manifest that yes, special permit fees, of course, are part of the revenue-raising powers granted to local government units. So under the Local Government Code of the Philippines, this includes the authority to levy such fees as part of their broader power to generate revenue. So siguro hindi yung kami nakakaintindihan sa Treasurer. So maaaring i-alam mo natin ito kay City Legal. So just want to also add that Section 129, power to create sources of revenue. So each local LGU should exercise its power to create its own sources of revenue and to levy taxes, fees, and charges subject to the provision herein. So this section gives LGUs the authority to levy various types of fees, including special permit fees as part of our revenue sources. So yung Section 147 naman, Your Honor, yung mga fees and charges. So local government units may impose and collect such reasonable fees and charges for services rendered. So these provisions allow LGUs to impose fees for services which include special permit fees for events and activities requiring permits from the local government unit. So, bibigyan naman ako ng another section, Section 192, Authority to grant tax exemption privileges. LGUs may, though ordinances duly approve, grant tax exemption, incentives, or reliefs under such term and condition as they may deem necessary. So, this section permits LGUs to grant exemptions, including exemptions from special permit fees, through duly approved ordinances. Ito naman yung sinasabi sa Section 192 na authority natin to grant tax exemption privileges. So these sections, sila po kanina, your authors, these sections collectively support the authority of local government councils to impose and potentially exempt special permit fees as part of our revenue-raising powers. Ito yung mga power natin, yung author, na lahat nito ay sakop po ng ating mandato. So this authority is exercised to support local governance and community activities in line with our local autonomy. Just for the record, Your Honor.
Thank you, Councilor Unalit, for stating some of the provisions relevant to the subject matter. I would like to continue, Attorney Pearl Cabrera from City Legal Office.
Hello, yes, good afternoon, Chairman. Chairwoman, I'm sorry. Okay, wow. Actually, Attorney Del Mundo has a point, no? Because if you go through the ordinance, the question is it in the exercise of police power or revenue? So I think what Attorney Del Mundo is saying is if it were exercised in the exercise to raise revenues, the ordinance has the authority through, the city council has authority by enactment of an ordinance. But if it's exercised via police power, especially kung special permit po kasi, this is a form of a fee, no? So this is not actually the exercise of revenue powers. This is the exercise of police power. So Attorney Del Mundo is saying na in which case, hindi po natin siya pwedeng i-qualify under an ordinance. If you're going to cover the special permits. Tama ba, Attorney? So right now, well, this is a legal, it's si Attorney Del Mundo has a point. Baka nga hindi natin ito ma-cover under the ordinance rulemaking powers. But I cannot make a definitive legal opinion right now. Of course, alam mo mga abogado kami, mag-aaral din kami. Hindi ko lang nakalain na Attorney Del Mundo will be, but he has a point, no? Kasi kailangan po natin, statutorily, there is really a difference between imposing a fee and a tax. So, ang local government code has both police power.
Your
But of course, no, Councilor Uno, I understand this point of view, but we will have to make a study on this because Attorney Del Mundo also raised a valid point.
Attorney Perez, whether to if the committee would like to ask the legal, in paper po, opinion.
After Attorney Del Mundo reduces his comments, right?
Yes.
So we will have an exchange of Attorney Del Mundo.
To have also the city council kami po, to know what's best para po dito sa natin, sa draft ordinance.
Okay.
Councilor Unalit. Mr.
Your Honor, sinend ko lang naman kanina mga sections ng mga authority natin sa local government. Kaya lang, sinabi kasi ni Atty. Del Mundo kanina dito, nag-right ditong mga special permit fees. So, sinaside natin ako ng mga sections na mandato ng mga kausihan. So, probably bago siguro tayo tumuloy dito sa mga ganito mga comment po natin, pag-aralan muna natin kung ano ba talaga. Kasi nga letter of no objection nga ako kung sino-sino mga nag-apply sa atin, tayo nandito present sa City Council, di ba? So, lahat dumadaan sa City Council. So, yung baka pwede attorney, yung kaninang inanibest attorney Del Mundo, baka pwede pag-aralan. Dahil ito yung medyo, paano yung mga nangyari ko, mga special permits ng mga previous administration na dumadaan sa mga City Council. So, ibig sabihin, mawawala na ulo pag ginano natin yung di ba? So, marami na kami na mga previous mga special permit fees before na dumaan sa City Council. So, ngayon, pag i-apply mo natin yan, dahil may mga police power na sinasabi po kayo, ano yung nangyari doon sa mga ginawa ng mga City Council before, na wala na. Kaya mabuti siguro, bago tayo mag-comment, pag-aralan na ako natin, dahil ito yung masilang bahagi, hindi yung basta tayo mag-exchange ng ideas and opinions. So marami na kami dumaan ng special permit fees, engineering, yan sa mga city treasurer na pinapa-approve ng City Council. So parang ngayon ko lang narinig na hindi ko pala kami pwede. Wala kami man.
No, actually, City Legal po is not saying that, no? But we would like to also hear from the City Treasurer's Office because there is in fact, may mga case law po kasi kami that there's really a distinction between fees and taxes. So, pag-aralan lang po lang natin yun, no? I'm sure there's a middle ground here, Attorney Del Mundo, but his point is also valid, but at the same time, maybe, kasi Attorney Del Mundo, ang sinasabi lang naman ng mga jurisprudences, dapat ma-emphasize whether it's for revenue or if it's for regulation. This is cured by whereas clauses, di ba? So, I think, hindi naman natin, we cannot say also that the City Council does not have. That's not what we're saying, because even the law qualifies it. Even case law qualifies it. As long as you can justify na it is more of a revenue than the City Council can. But if it's more of a regulation, the exercise of police power, yun po ang rare area. So I think that's something that we have to reconcile at the legal mundo, no?
Yung Article 2A2, which we cited, is quite categorical. However, with the introduction of the amendment of the Honorable Councilor, I think we could go around this article. Instead of
anyway, I think we
in the section 3, instead of all the wordings there, it would simply state that all city-sponsored events, 0 fee. Simple like that. Things like that. So, the introduction of the amendment covers to the definition of what is a city-sponsored event and the processes. Tapos we put a 0 amount.
Under the enumeration.
Without necessarily deleting the other paragraphs. That's the authority to tax, to impose the fee. That is the authority of the council, to impose a 0 fee. But to reduce, to remove, or to grant an incentive, Article 2A2 is quite expressive.
Thank you, Attorney Bernard. Thank you, Attorney Luis. Attorney Luis, good night.
If I may, actually that was a good suggestion po from our city treasurer po. We could make it 0, you did not accept it, and it has not paid anything, but they still have to go through the process of getting a receipt and everything, wala sila actually provide. But nonetheless po, Madam Chair, may I still request po, una po to reduce the comment po of the city treasurer interacting so that this committee will be advised po of that comment and for the city treasurer, so the city legal to comment as well, because the insights that we get from this office will be helpful for this committee since we are the committee on recent news. Honestly po, for me, this is my personal opinion, I'm not a tax lawyer, no? When I look at the special permit fee, while it states that it's a special permit fee, it may appear to be regulatory in nature. The way we use it is for income generation. So at least for me, the way I see it, I want to, when I interpret what's the purpose of the tax, I look at what the tax does, not what its title is. But nonetheless, you can read it this matter to the office of the CBD. At the end of the day, that's their mandate. Para po, because you ask 5 lawyers about something, you get 5 different opinions about that. So at least we have a definite opinion for that. But that is, Madam Chair, in order to not delay this ordinance, even before the opinions of that we requested are issued, we could have made the suggestion that to make it 0 later. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Consi Udolim, are you involved with the suggestion?
Yes.
Raised coming from per Commander City Legal and are you using from the City Treasurer's Office?
Your Honor, I take this into consideration the manifestation made by Commander Mundo to put G, city sponsored events, 0, and also the manifestation made by Burris. So, pwede mo para hindi na rin kung hindi natin yung opinion na kasi ayun nga ay dumaan ng mga permit, special permit fees kami na sa council. Tapos wala naman din parang magtato, so mas maganda dito pala, naklaan natin lahat kung ano yung talagang may sinabi yung pala, may wala na rin yun, yung city councilor natin. Yung dami na akong dumaan natin na-approve ng mga special permit fees. So hindi pala po yun. Diba? So ito maalaman po natin komento ni Atty. Del Mundo at siyempre makapayag pa natin ng ating city legal, the honor. Para mas ma-enlighten pa po ang ating mga kasama mga konsyal patungkol dito sa issue nito.
Yes, thank you, Consi Udolim. Maraming salamat po. We will be having consideration all those insights, feedbacks, and legal opinions given with regard to our first draft ordinance, 8710. It speaks about the special permit fees po. So, maraming salamat po. We'd like to continue. Consi Udolim.
Your aside from that, i-relate pa rin mo natin yung kanilang minarrequest ko, 3.1 as a physical enforcement, 3.1A is for the record, B, yung community benefit and resource allocation.
If I may ask lang po our principal officer to give us an update or amended draft ordinance na nakapasok po yung isinama yung amended lang the 3.18 from 1.C para po mas malinaw po at kompleto yung draft ordinance natin with regard to the first supplemental. Next, we continue po with our second order of business of the day, draft ordinance number 8749. Yung mga, yung sa permits po, pwede po, thank you po.
For draft ordinance number 8749, entitled An Ordinance Granting Special Tax Incentives for Houses which employs the use of renewable energy, authored by Councilors Atty. J.B. S. Dizon and Atty. Oliver I. Zarcad.
Yes, second draft ordinance natin, number 8749, entitled An Ordinance Granting Special Tax Incentives for Houses which employs the use of renewable energy, authored by Councilors Atty. J.B. Dizon and Councilor Timothy Oliver Zarcad. I'd like to call on Principal's author, Atty. J.B. Dizon.
Okay, maraming salamat po, Madam Chair. We always say here in the City Council of Manila na where Manila goes, the country follows. Right now, we have an opportunity to do the exact same thing. This ordinance, this very simple ordinance is intended to encourage houses within the City of Manila to employ the use of renewable energy through tax incentives. Now, again po, ang Manila po, because of its location, is very much affected by climate change. Isa pa po, tumalakas na yung bagyo natin, and in particular, dito na sa ating distrito, dumadalas po ang pagbaha. And isang reason po yan is because of climate change, and one of the primary perpetrators of climate change is energy generation. Okay? So, through the use of this ordinance, we will encourage our residents to employ renewable energy sa kanilang mga tahanan, and we will do this through a tax exemption sa Amelia Boya sa kanilang mga tahanan. Ang intention po natin dito ay ma-invitahan po yung mga tahanan po sa Luzon ng Manila na mag-switch po tayo sa renewable energy. At sa ganun po, ang long-term intention po nito ay balang po, mag-reduce po ang reliance ng ating mga residente sa traditional energy at mag-reduce sa renewable energy. At sa ganun po, unang-una, nabawasan po yung pollution na napoproduce ng traditional sources of energy. At pangalawa, bumaba po yung demand sa traditional sources of energy, which will, in the long term, result in lower energy prices for all of our residents of the city of Manila. Kaya hindi natin po kayo na makisa po dito po sa ating ordinansa. Ako po ay napaka-open po sa suggestions pagdating po dito sa ordinansa na ito. I'm the first person to admit na hindi po ako technical expert pagdating po sa renewable energy. But what I'm an expert though is in helping people. I believe this ordinance will eventually help people. Long-term po ang plano natin dito. The effects of this ordinance will not be immediately seen. In fact, I'm the first person to admit that what we will immediately see here is a reduction of the income of the city of Manila. Pero I believe that while there is a reduction of the income of the city of Manila, that is a small price to pay for the benefit that will be gained by the residents of the city of Manila in the long term. So, maraming salamat po.
Thank you, JB. Before ko na talking yung mga representatives natin na expert po or somehow being sample sa pagdating sa renewable energy coming from the different departments in the construction area. I'd like to ask po, the gentlemen po, it's specifically targets houses po. Why not include other establishments po? Bakit po nag-focus na po sa mga residente bahay?
Okay po. Kasi po una, at least I believe po, business establishments do not need to be incentivized to resort to renewable sources of energy. Kasi po, they are covered by their own corporate social responsibilities, and they are already engaging in the use of renewable sources of energy. In fact, yung mga commercial establishments, they make it a point to advertise that they use renewable sources of energy. So I do not think that they do not need to be incentivized by tax incentives para po mag-resort into renewable sources of energy. And to be honest po, another consideration is that the revenue impact will be too high pagka po sinama natin ang mga commercial establishments po. So, yun po, dalawang reason. Una, hindi kailangan because they are already doing this because the commercial incentive for them is actually high, considering that they are some of the biggest energy consumers in our city. Sila po yung pinakamalaki na kikinabang pagka po nag-convert sa renewable energy. Kaya hindi nila kailangan ng additional encouragement. And masyado po masakit sa bulsa ng syudad pagka kasama po sila sa incentive. And they can pay their taxes.
Thank you, Dr. JB. We'd like to hear naman po our City Electrician Engineer Randy Sada.
Yes, good afternoon po, Madam Chair and Councilor Ison and Councilor Uwili po. 100% po kami sumusuporta sa ordinance na ibibigay po ni Councilor Ison po. Ang City Engineer's Office po ay ready po na as lead agency, ibibigay po na materials po or patuloy po yung ordinance natin. And yun po, napapanahon na rin po, sa ngayon po, marami rin po na nag-a-apply sa atin na gumagamit po ng renewable energy kasi yung mga solar po. So, yung 2024 alone, meron na tayong 42 application and permit issued na mga nag-apply po ng mga household po natin ng solar. So, I think maganda po ito para may encourage po yung mga household po natin na gumamit na po ng mga renewable energy po.
Engineer, meron po ba tayong data kung ilan po yung mga number of houses na sa mga gumagamit na renewable source energy po na i-target po nitong draft ordinance?
Yes, ma'am. Bali po yung nag-a-apply po ng mga solar power natin. No? Nag-secure po muna sila ng electrical permit. So, doon po, nakuha po natin yung mga data nila. From 2021 po, meron po kaming 10 applicants po and issued permit for solar. Noong 2022, meron tayong 40 na household or establishment na nag-apply po ng solar power po. 2023, meron po tayo total of 65. And ngayon po, 2024, as of June, meron po tayo 42 na application po for solar.
So, sa dito pong na-share nyo, makikita natin tumataas po.
Yes po, tumataas po.
Number of applicants natin na sa
Especially po, siguro pag naging ordinance na po talaga, baka mas lalo po manalo po ng encourage po.
Meron po ba kayong alam na neighboring na city government or city other lungsod na nag-apply ng sa mga similar type of incentives po na
Sa yun, tayo pala yata sir, if you ever po.
so tayo pa
tayo.
na magbibigay ng ito type of Council JP.
Maraming salamat po. Actually, I would like to ask for your professional opinion, that is expert opinion, on the matters for the basis of our real estate tax incentive. Una po, ang tax incentive natin, i-apply na po natin sa structure po mismo sa bahay. Hindi po natin siya i-apply sa land. Kasi po, parang masyado po malaki magiging tax. Masyado po magiging malaki tax incentive para po sa land natin nilagay. And we should also consider that sometimes sa single land, isa na provide para bahay po mga structure na nandoon. So we intend to apply this to the specific structure. Pero I would just like to ask for your opinion on the basis po. Yung pwede pong gamitin natin basis with regards to the reduction. Kasi po, for those who have not yet read the ordinance, ang intention po natin dito, yung tax reduction po natin will be based on the monthly average kilowatt hours generated. However, Madam Chair, I would just like to state na earlier po I had a conversation with the city electrician and mahihirapan po tayong gamitin yung monthly average kilowatt hours generated because it will require those who want to apply for this exemption to have used already yung solar power nila. Tapos, they will provide their own evidence kung ilan na-produce nila. And mahirap pong mag-rely sa data nila kung ilan na-produce nila because at the end of the day, their data is self-serving and dahil sa kanila nanggaling. So, earlier, Madam Chair, there were discussions to not use the monthly average kilowatt hours generated as the basis, but rather the energy production potential of the inverter that is used by the renewable source of energy. Can you please elaborate on that, sir?
Yes, sir. Bali dito po kasi sa basis natin as monthly average kilowatt hour, okay naman po siya, but hindi yung agad right away may implement natin yung ordinance. So, kasi mag-iintay po tayo ng 1 year to get the average monthly na po. Kasi dito po sa Pilipinas, season tayo rito eh. May time na tagulan tayo at may time naman na mag-init. So, yung harvested capacity ng isang solar power, nag-iiba-iba po yan. Depende po sa panahon natin. So, medyo variable po ito. Ngayon, pwede mo natin gawin basis dito, yung sinasabi po nila sa amin bago namin sa isuwa ng permit, nire-report po namin sila na magsabit po ng electric time. So doon po, i-determine natin kung ano po yung design ikakabit nila doon sa mga household nila, kung ano po yung kilowatt capacity ng bawat solar panel. So, siguro, sir, doon po baka pwede nyo na maging basis natin. And then, kami naman po, kaya natin po mag-compute, right po, based sa mga submitted nila, plans na bibili ko sa office namin.
Thank you, Engineer Ranasata. We'd like to hear naman po from the City Assessor's Office about this draft ordinance po. Engineer Jose Cruz.
Good afternoon po, Madam Chair, and the other members of the committee of cities. On behalf of Engineer Dewan, I would like to introduce myself and Jeffrey Pala, the Assistant City Assessor for Operations. As far as the draft ordinance is concerned, we are in support naman po for this tax incentive. But however, we believe po na currently, kailangan din po natin mag-generate ng additional taxes. But in this connection po, we believe po na sa incentive po siguro, pwede po natin siyang suggest na i-apply natin for the machineries na pwede natin i-assess para po sa mga solar panels i-install po ng mga houses nito. Kasi pwede naman po natin po ng
Sorry, paulit po. Ano po ulit?
But sir, yung pong machinery na pwede po ma-assess dahil po sa pag-install po nito mga solar generating or renewable energy sources, yun po siguro ang isang part po na makakadagdag din naman po sa pag-generate na and then on that particular taxes po, doon natin sila pwede itagdag yung incentive na pwede po natin ibigay sa mga gagamit po ng mga renewable energy source. And then,
Sorry po, paulit lang po. Kung yung tax exemption na ito, mag-a-apply lang sa improvement mismo?
Bali, sir, yung pong kasi taxes po natin, pwede pertain po dito sa improvement sa structure po. Medyo magkakaroon po kasi makakompromise po yung ating tax assessment po, particularly dito po sa improvements. But para naman po kahit paano hindi po ma-apektuhan yung ating revenue collection, we would suggest po siguro yung po assessment ng machineries for the installation po. Yung po kasi yung machinery gagamitin for the renewable energy would be assessed naman po by the basis naman po nung nakasaad po sa ating local government. But the machineries naman po would be subject to the property tax. So it's a suggestion.
Actually, yes nga po. If you, can I ask for this?
1 minute to the intervention.
very much, Madam Chair. During the recess po, we had a discussion with the different heads po, our different offices. And as I was recommended po that unang-una, we change po yung basis kung saan po natin binabasa yung tax deduction po natin. I would like to ask po our city education to at least po reduce yung iterate proposal na yan we can apply it here. And also, we will take into consideration the recommendation of the city assessor and our city treasurer. When it comes po for the tax rates and kung saan we apply yung tax rate, para mas accurate po yung sa mabawasan po natin and yung dapat po mag-benefit yung actually mag-benefit. Tsaka yung iba pong mga rates para sinisingin ng Manila, in particular po yung basa ng Australia, hindi po maapektuhan. So, thank you very much po for those suggestions po. When we receive po, we will apply those suggestions po. And pagka po, Madam Chair, just wait po for the recommendation po of the city electrician and yun po, Madam Chair. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Councilor Cleary. Before we end today's committee in section 7, they suggested that in addition, aside from the Office of City Engineer and the Office of City Education, that the City Treasurer's Office and the City Assessor's Office be included in the group or in creation of the implementing rules and regulations para po sa streamline po yung mga kailangan ng bawat departamento para dito sa draft ordinance natin.
Yes, so Madam Chair, considering that this is end of the day, tax ordinance, it is right po, kailangan kasama po sila sa paggawa po ng implementing rules and regulations. And we will apply po the same manifestation. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng dumalo. 2018 session.